Also, when you were talking about bums, I saw something really fucked up the other day, and it's kind of like a new thing that I've realized how much pieces of shit people actually can be.
Why? What happened?
I was looking up internet like games and shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there's a game called Bum Simulator.
Bum Simulator?
Bum Simulator on PC. So apparently you walk around with a shopping trolley and you can like craft shit.
What?
Yeah, bro, you can craft shit. So you have like scrap metal and then like you're hungry. So you're like, I got to get some food. Then you got to like go through a trash can and get in fights with other bums to get more points. Yo, what's up, baby? How are ya? What's going on, boy? Wait, that's the first time like in ages we actually got the clap properly. Like sometimes
I think the last time when it was me, you, and like us four, we did it, and we had to do it twice because like the first one went, it was like, oh no, we got to go again.
Yeah,
I don't even think the second one was on point either though.
Well, it's kind of frustrating because I always have to edit it, so I have to edit it and then do it again, and it's just like because I have to link up all the recordings and shit like that, and then I have to put them together.
Yeah, and
then if I miss the clap, I have just edited a whole lot of shit and just go, oh wait, no, this isn't even it. So it's just annoying. But we have news to all the people who are watching and to everyone that's watching religiously. I really appreciate all the support. We got a couple of episodes coming out. We've had a bit of time off over Christmas and New Year's, but we're still keeping it going. So thanks, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Jackson England, we had you on here before, and interestingly enough, Jackson's actually stepping in to the Wilkoz World game plan, and he's going to be co-hosting a lot of the shows. So bang, right there. So I was thinking I got a notepad and a pen because it's you need an idea. We've got you here.
Okay.
We've got you here on the oh shit, I don't have the screen going anymore.
Oh no.
But it's all good. But I think, just write your name down. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, smashing people.
Yeah.
So,
it's artificial. That's not me.
What do you mean?
No, I'm joking.
That's actually like, so how HD do you have to get? So that's all like the...
Yeah. So I remember when I saw the photo for the first time, I thought it was edited because of how much sweat and water. But actually looking back at the fight, there was that much sweat and water because that was one of the hottest fights.
Was that here?
Yeah, it was here just in Metros in Northbridge.
Yeah,
where they have the normal fights and the big fight shows there. But I remember looking back at the fight, and I swear to God, it was boiling. It was
wow.
It was so hot there.
You also got so many people in there as well, man, just like screaming on the sides. It's even hot watching it.
It's bodies on bodies. Like remember, even like the last fight when you're there, you're in like your full suit and stuff.
Yeah.
Even just out in the crowd, you stand there, you're just sweating standing there because it's such a close up
sort of
thing as well. Even in the VIP, you got no room. Everyone's like on top of each other. So like that it's completely understandable because I was sweating balls in that fight. And I remember.
Well, you would be. You would be, yeah.
It's fight, doesn't matter. But it was really hot that night. And even looking back at the photo, I was like, nah, there can't be that much water coming off and sweat and everything like that. But it was, and it's a really good photo as well.
You look like you smashed him back to the Philippines, bro. Like you actually have, that looks so painful. So that's after you hit him and he's just like, oh.
It was a really good photo. Good to the
boxer, apparently. He was.
Yeah,
the same before.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
but good photographers as well. They make, it's all lighting.
It's all lighting. That's why we look so good right now, just saying.
It's all
Can't
lighting.
see behind, but killer.
You turn the lights off and watch me look really bad. But no, that was a really good fight as well. And he was a hell of a fighter. I was just saying before we started how tough he was. Like out of all the people I fought, he was probably one of the toughest guys I ever fought. And crazy that he had a big gash in his mouth on the inside of his cheek after the fight from the accumulation of shots. And I had no idea till after. And he was fine. And he went in there, apparently got it all fixed up and that. But he stood there for the whole 8 rounds, and I hit him with everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
He just would not go down. I was so blown away. But credit to him. 100%.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to.
I don't think I was there watching that one actually.
No, that would have
been a long time ago.
What number fight this was? This is before we met. This would have been number. I think this was number 6 or my fight 6 or 7. Maybe I might be wrong. I have to go back and have a look. But yeah, that's fight 6 or 7, and I won the featherweight Australasian title. So this was before.
That's killer.
No, okay. So this was before I won the Australian title. So I had this fight before I went for the Australian title. Yeah. Before I went to Thailand and stuff. I'll end up rambling. Stop me if I ramble.
Let's get that sign going, man. I want to chuck up a sign.
What's this? So we're gonna stick this on with some blue tack. Is it glue tack or blue tack?
Blue tack? I don't know, but definitely what it is we're doing some budget cuts around here. So yeah,
so
I couldn't afford another LED sign.
Doesn't matter. I don't need one, but
should be right.
If you have to bear with me because it looks like a toddler read it.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
My writing is atrocious, but how am I going to do this? Okay, so Wilkoz World.
Chuck it down there. We've got a little corner space there. We'll chuck it on there. There we go. That's looking the goods, brother. That's looking the goods.
What?
Is that an A or a tent?
That's an A.
Oh, okay.
Looks a little bit like a tent.
Are you? Oh, so you're gonna do like a few pages?
I'll do like 2.
Just like drop it down, bro.
Yeah, I am.
Actually, something real interesting because I want to keep relevant. So I was on a boat the other day and I was with the boys and we all watched the fights religiously. So interestingly enough, we watched Jake Paul fight Tyron Woodley for the second time. Took it on short notice. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
That was fucking hectic, bro. The dude was just like...
Well, for someone who's obviously on Jake Paul's side, someone who's actually losing the fight. Yeah. And then got that shock knockout, and probably one of the best knockouts of this year or last year now because we're in 2022. Happy 2022. Happy
New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year for everybody. But yeah, it was absolutely insane on the fact that the way he knocked him out and how hard he knocked him out, coming from Tyron Woodley, who's obviously a lot out of his prime now. Yeah. But the way he did it, it was like looking at it firsthand. Like a lot of people are obviously skeptical and they're like, no, it doesn't look. Oh, it looks rigged. It looks whatever and all that stuff. But what gets me is the way he hit him, setting it up. It looked a bit sus, a little bit to me. That's probably from a fighter. Really, the way he set it up in a way, only because the way he
the world is flat.
The world is flat.
So yeah, tell me.
The way he set it up. I'll come back to this. The way he set it up in a way to me was like, okay, I'm gonna fake. And this is either Tyron Woodley being out of it as he is because he's an older guy now. He's not.
Did you watch the fight live?
No. I watched the round.
Okay.
I watched the whole round because I saw the highlight and I was like, "Well, fuck, that was hectic." Yeah. But then I was like, "No, I want to see kind of how it got into that." Yeah. So the round started off pretty average in its way, like working back and forth. Tyron Woodley wasn't really pushing. Jake Paul wasn't really pushing. They weren't really at that point there. Yeah. And even Jake said after the fight, he felt a bit flat. Yeah. Feeling a bit flat and then getting a knockout like that is crazy. But with the way he set it up, a lot of people were like, oh, he twisted his hand before he did it and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. People can move their hand in any sort of way they want. Yeah, it's not a conspiracy. When you fake and when you actually commit to a shot, it's got to really be realistic. And the way his feet were, like the shot that he threw first or the way he faked first, it almost was like, I'm coming. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't set that up right. Let me try again. So it was almost like Tyron Woodley in myself, the way he kind of, I'm defending. And then as he went for the shot, when he actually threw it and the arm dropping, was like, okay, well, there's no right hand coming, or he really just didn't see it. Wow. And that's when it's caught him, and that's when he's just gone pretty much like flatline.
But how can you fake a knockout like that, though?
That's the thing. Like, that's where people got to be realistic. And you're thinking, these guys are fighting cruiserweight. And they're like from middle, if I'm wrong or not, from welter or middle all the way up to middle to, okay, so middle, then light heavy, then cruiser. Then now there's bridgerweight, which is now a new thing. Okay. And then heavyweight. Yeah. They all wear 10-ounce gloves. Anything lower is 8s. Right. And I fight in 8s because I'm a little fella. Yeah. But anything like that is 10s. And you got to think the gloves that they're wearing in 10s, they're bag gloves to anybody who's a bit heavier. Or even me, I wear 10s as bag gloves. That's going to, regardless of anybody punching hard or not, that's going to hurt. Mm-hmm. And that's going to hit you hard too. Yeah. And Jake Paul is known for being a decent puncher, a pretty good puncher from all the guys he's fought as well. Yeah. So knowing that even if it was fake or it wasn't, Tyron Woodley would have had to really rehearse that, or they would have had to really go over that plan on, okay, I'm going to really sell this. The way it went, it wasn't being sold. Like he really got knocked out. He got knocked
out, bro. Yeah. How is it that if you were to fake this, if the earth is flat, if you really think that someone will commit to a knockout so well that he's going, bang, I've just been hit. He twisted his whole body when he threw it. Because I've noticed with that right, I can't actually move my hand over this.
Fuck, so don't worry, I'm listening. Go.
I thought we were doing 3 down.
Yeah, no, I was going to, but then I realised that's fucked. Go. I'm listening.
It's all good. The way he twisted his hand, like he throws everything. Like it's almost like when you go into a boxing gym for the first time and they go, okay, when you throw your jab, cover with your shoulder and then you twist your body for that right hand, right? It was like really basic 101 and he almost leans forward with it and all of the punches that he does. So if he was to hit the guy, and what I'm thinking is I'm like, if he was hit by said shot, which he was, I believe that he was.
Yeah.
You don't commit to a full face flat because that would hurt more than the punch. Anything just going, oh.
Well, you know, there's also that saying, you know, like with movement and with you actually taking a shot on, it actually makes it worse. Where you see people who go with the shot, they're able to wear it better. You know, like look at someone like Canelo Alvarez who has, you know, ridiculously good evasive movement now. And instead of over slipping or over rolling sometimes, he'll just move his chin with it and it will just glance and it will go with the shot as well. So that takes away a lot of the momentum and a lot of the power behind it because he's going with the shot. But you get a lot of people who lunge or they lean into the shot. And a lot of people think, okay, you're going to take away the momentum from that. It depends on how you do it. It's on the fence with it. But the way, you know, it wasn't like Tyron Woodley like leant in there and been like, okay, I'm ready now for you to take that shot. So that's where a lot of people...
Because he dropped, so he hit to the body and he dropped, and it was almost like he was kind of in like a
Philly shell.
They both have that Philly shell, but they're not experts at it.
No.
Neither is Jake Paul. So Jake Paul isn't wearing shots like Mayweather and moving and countering off that shell. He's a offensive, so he'll fight, he'll throw his combinations, stand back, and when the shots come in, he'll move backwards, parry off, but he's not... in front of you, bang, 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 under, bang, it's underneath, pivot out.
He's not technical whatsoever. No. And it's not in a sense where you would use the word classy. It's not like a classy movement where it's like, okay, yeah, he's a YouTuber, he fights and does whatever. Oh, wow, he's got really good defensive movement. He's got really good defense on the fact of using that shoulder, using the hand, and being able to bob and weave and move with his body. But it's unco and awkward because he is unco and awkward because he's not a traditional fighter. And a lot of people from... you know, whether people agree with me or not, if you're not a traditional fighter, that's probably the hardest people to fight.
Oh, 100%.
People who don't have any rhythm, don't have any picture, don't have any timing, anything like that, they're the hardest people to fight.
Because you can't work with them as well.
Well, you have no idea what's going on. It's like fighting a bum in the street. No offense to the bum in the street, but it's like the bum in the street. You don't know what the fuck's going on. He could come at you with fucking trying to do a windmill punch. Like, how are you meant to defend from a windmill punch when you don't know what's going to happen? Yeah, windmill punch throws a rock at your face. Yeah, like, you know, or like who knows? You don't know. Yeah. So like Tyron Woodley, even himself, being a really skillful striker himself and being in his prime, here's a weapon. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. He's out of his prime now. So my dilemma on that is like, okay, the knockout's real. I believe how he hit him and the way he knocked out, that's from my look. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real. Yep. A lot of people saying like, oh, the way he twists his hand or the way he set it up, that's where it's getting me a little bit. It's like, okay, they've got so much money behind them. They've got so much thing and all that stuff. Whether I'm a fan of them or not, it doesn't really matter because I don't think anybody really cares anyways. And they're doing their thing. Who am I to judge? Yeah. I quite like them. I think they're good for the sport. To be fair, well, it's bringing a lot of excitement to the sport, and a lot of attention. Whether people like it or not, you know, it's pay per view, and you know it is beneficial for them, but it's also putting boxing back out there for the public again. The reason why I like him is because he says shit that other people don't have the balls to say. Yeah, like he's very Jake Paul's really good with asserting himself and what he's saying and what he believes in. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I think his attitude now when he fought Woodley for the second time was actually kind of cool. And I watched it and I was like, you know, I can get on board with this. I don't hate it. I think they're quite good. I think the first fight, I thought that was rubbish because of the way, obviously, you know, they both went about it. There was a lot of shit talking, a lot of this, a lot of that. And give it to Woodley as well. Short notice. And fucking Tommy Fury, wherever the fuck he's gone. Yeah, what do you think would have happened if Tommy fought him? I still think Jake would have won. Yeah. To be fair. Only because give it to Tommy. He comes from a beautiful boxing family. They're all, you know, the gypsy fighters and everything like that. But there's only going to ever be one Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there is. Tommy Fury, coming from Love Island to everything else, he's in that realm of, you know, that social media and everything like that. Yeah, so he kind of has the same sort of background in a way, but it's very different, you know, very, very different in like from my opinion, like from, what's it, reality TV? That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, okay.
Full mind blank.
Yeah.
No idea what TV was then. But yeah, he's from that, and he comes from a very classy boxing family. The Tyson Fury is one of the best heavyweights in this era.
Yeah.
And then going to him, it's like, it's a bit of a, not a joke. Like, he's got ability, don't get me wrong. He's got ability, but the way they've looked after him and the way they've pushed him in and the way they've done things has been really poor. And his training and like everything like that, like saying like, oh, you know, he had a problem with, I don't even know. I actually personally don't know why he pulled out of the fight again.
Because he apparently he got and you'll be able to kind of understand this. So apparently he got unwell. He had some kind of a chest infection, and then as he was training, apparently he had broken his rib.
Okay.
So that's why. And then he put up a picture of his rib being broken.
Okay.
Now I think if you have a broken rib, do you fight?
No, you can.
You can, but
if you
depending on how bad it is.
No, if you don't tell the commission.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, what would you do in that situation?
In that situation, if I broke a rib, I know I'm not at my best, but I can use this from another point of view because my uncle fought Anthony Mundine.
Wow.
My uncle.
Fuck. That's awesome. That's
amazing.
That's fucking sick, bro.
So with the boxing family, with lineage with me.
Did he lose?
Bunch of fighters, he fucking lost.
Yeah,
but
it's
Mundine. But Mundine back then, he was at his peak. He was, even to this day, my old man remembers watching him spar and everything like that. My dad, give a shout out to good old Stephen McIver, the Psycho Steve, the Italian.
Yeah.
Right? He'd be someone to have on here. He'd be gold.
Bring him on. Fuck yeah.
But come on, Steve, come at me.
Yeah, no, Steve would be dope.
But no, so going with Tommy Fury in that sense because we went off there.
Yeah.
Going from that, looking at someone like from perspective like breaking your rib or having a chest infection and stuff. I've trained. It depends on the individual, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on safety and the way they've nurtured him in a way where they want to build him up.
Yep.
I remember looking back a couple of years back and I was saying to Francesca, my partner, shout out to my beautiful partner and my beautiful son. I love yous both. Onwards.
Yeah.
Saying from there, I remember looking at a fight that Tommy Fury had. He fought a guy who was awesome, awesome journeyman. Journeyman's a part of the sport, regardless whether or not.
What's a German?
German?
What's a German man?
What's a German man?
No, what is it?
What's a German man?
What is it?
So a journeyman is someone who jumps in the ring. It's just for money. He's a walkover.
Right. Okay.
He's not a walkover. Journeymen can go out there and they fight along. They do whatever.
Are they meant to lose? But they try their best.
There's some out there that are meant to. They're there to just be a body. But then there is journeymen out there who actually have a really good win-loss ratio who are like they're there to fight. They might get the win. They might not. Regardless, they're making money for their family.
So Tommy Fury.
We have Tommy Fury with that. Like that's a great example of someone like a journeyman where Jake Paul... It's not saying he's for journeymen, but he's for people that are out of their time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same but different. So same but different. Difference with Jake Paul is that he has that belief in himself, and Tommy Fury, he's in the family, so he loves boxing, he loves that sort of stuff. But I think the difference in the individual. So with Tommy Fury breaking his rib, obviously it must have been very severe with the chest infection and the broken rib to be like, nah, I don't want to put myself in there to fight. So it's credit to the fighter of, hey, I'm not going to risk this because this is a big fight. This is a big thing, even though it's against someone who's not a traditional fighter.
Yep.
He might not just want to be out there and risk himself. And this is going back to even like my uncle who fought Mundine. They had their fight back in Queensland years ago, and good old shout out to the Thornberrys as well, Nolan Ricky Thornberry. So Rick fought Rick fought Anthony Mundine, and leading up to the fight, he was sparring. I think my dad told me he sparred my dad. He sparred him. He sparred Koshizu, who's an absolute legend, and Tim Zhu as well, his son. But he sparred Koshizu and Sam Solomon, who's another Aussie former world champion as well.
Yep.
And he was sparring them, and I don't know which one, but I think the accumulation of wearing body punches, one just got weaker, and I think it fractured. So that was a fracture or a break. I don't personally know the story. All I know is that he went in there with that broken rib and lasted all the way to the 10th round, and it was a 12-round fight. and he just got in that he was on the scorecards. It was a bit of a mix, but Mundine was ahead because of his Mundine back in the day. He had really good eyes. Like the best quality he had as a fighter was he had really good reflexes and really good eyes. Where Ricky, my uncle, he was just an absolute. He had a face like lead. He
just wailed on him.
Oh well, prior to that, he went all the way to Wales and fought Joe Kawasaki, and went the distance with Joe Kawasaki, and Joe Kawasaki was meant to take him out.
Yeah,
and he went the full 12 rounds with Joe Kawasaki for the WBO World middleweight title, super middleweight title, and Kawasaki boxed his socks off, but he still stood there and he was calling Kawasaki on, like telling him because he was rough and tough.
Yeah, just rough dude.
And Mundine was, it was back and forth. Mundine was getting the better of him at some points, and then Ricky was having success as well. Got to that 10th round and he landed a really nice left rip on him.
Yeah, and
that's what caught it and just hit him right on that spot and just went down. And it wasn't anything drastic like he's rolling on the floor. It was just a hit him and bang, and just that shot there just set it for him. Mundine won, and then after the fight, he even said, he goes, I went in here, I've got a bit of a sore rib, but he went in there with a broken rib. So that's where it comes into the individual fighter. If you think, okay, I've got this broken rib, kind of like it's like that Cinderella man or like, Cinderella story thing. It's like, I've got this injury, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to win.
Yeah.
It's not always.
It's not always going to happen.
It's not always going to happen, and then magically it could.
Yeah.
You never know. You always got to. It's a big risk for big reward, but if you don't get the win or you don't get that reward, then you just put yourself out there. It's fine.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So when Sed becomes world champion, when you do become world champion.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, manifesting. Well, you know it too.
Oh, no,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. When in a matter of time, when that does happen.
Yeah.
If you get, Jake Paul's now calling out Canelo, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb. That's really stupid.
Jake,
that's really stupid.
For someone who really believes himself, yeah.
Well, here's a good example.
Yeah.
Size difference between you and me.
Yeah.
Is about the same between him and Canelo.
Oh, 100, yeah.
Maybe a little bit more because I think Jake Paul's, I'm 6 foot, he's maybe just under 6'1".
Jake Paul?
Yeah.
He's maybe just under 6'1".
Yeah, okay. And I think his frame's a lot bigger than mine too. I'm a little fat.
Look at that. Okay, so Jake Paul's a cruiser. And Canelo's just become undisputed super middleweight champion. And
so that's 77, isn't it?
75 to 77.
Yeah, that's super middleweight.
Yeah, super middle. And looking at that is...
Well, here's an example. When you and I fight. So my experience started off obviously with judo and that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right? So I've been boxing properly since I was like, I've been on and off for years, but properly since I was like maybe properly.
Yeah.
22, I want to say.
Yeah.
So that's what?
I can't count.
Yeah, no, that's 6 years. So let's just say I boxed for 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Properly, like going hard into it, a lot more MMA. No, not really, because I've done a lot more MMA, but like properly going into it, it's about 3 years, but I haven't had the best trainers in the world, and I'm not sparring people. But let's just say his experience and my experience is kind of like in that same amount of time. Do I think I could beat Jake Paul? No way. But if I was to fight you and we go full 8 rounds, that's not happening, bro. That's not happening. I'm going to lose. So if he's to fight Canelo, that's another fucking ball game.
It's completely different because going from fighting Ben Askren.
Ben Askren, yeah.
Askren, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
the
Ben.
beanbag.
Askren, beanbag, motherfucker. Ben Askren, fighting him, and then who was the other guy I fought? The basketball player. We watched him at the pub. Nate
Robinson?
Nate Robinson. Okay, so Nate Robinson's a basketball
That's right,
player.
we did.
See, so Nate Robinson being a basketball player.
Yeah.
Ben Askren
being a
and
beanbag.
Tyron Woodley being a bin bag. Sorry, man, you're not that bad. Fuck, sorry.
He's a good wrestler.
He's a good fucking mad wrestler.
Mad wrestler.
But
I like him. Just shout out.
Shout
I
out.
like him so much.
Ben Askren's a hell of a wrestler. And you got to pay credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But you should have never jumped in there and fought at the end of the day. But regardless of that, he still stepped in there, which is good. But then Tyron Woodley twice. And,
well, for the amount of money he would step in. I'd let Jake Paul punch me in the nuts for that amount of money.
I just let Mike Tyson absolutely put me in a coma. Mate, Mike, I'm here, man.
Yeah, if you want to crack on, exhibition doesn't matter about the wreck.
Don't even worry about being an exhibition. I'll stand there and you just full Steve-O. just I'll run into your fist.
So how much money do you have to ask for that? $2 million? You'd run straight into Mike Tyson's fist?
I wouldn't do it for $2 million. I'll do it for less than that.
Yeah.
No, any money's great. Fucking no.
Yeah, to be fair, we got a bus fare later, man. I'll just do it for about $3.95. All good.
Fucking hell.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
But
The size difference, well, the skill difference and the size difference between me and you when we have sparred,
Yeah.
it's like, you know you can just pick your time where you're like, all right, cool, now I get you.
Yeah, well,
it'll be the same with that.
It also comes into experience knowing. Like, that's the thing. Like, you look at Jake Paul, who's got...
Unless I hit you with that windmill punch that is unorthodox, then you don't know about that. Exactly, man.
Run at me like that.
Yeah. just kick and punch at the same time, like a death walk.
Death walk.
What do you do? Like,
start running.
Yeah, that's what you...
Just flying headbutt.
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
Just like the what's the shooting star or some shit like Bradley. Like, all good. No, but that's the thing. But Canelo's gonna fucking kill him.
So you look at Canelo. He's such a primed, over the top athlete.
Yeah.
In the point where he's got the right people behind him. He's been absolutely. So this is the fault in Tommy Fury compared to Canelo.
Yeah.
So Canelo turned pro at 15 and fought all the guys in Mexico and everything like that. He's fighting grown men. He's doing whatever, all that sort of stuff. But he's been primed to that point where he knows everything in the sport. Like he knows everything. And no matter if you know everything, there's guys even in their 70s and 80s now that were old school fighters back in like the 1950s or however, I can't count, however many of these.
Yep.
They're looking at guys now and like, wow, I've never seen that before. Oh, wow, look at Lomachenko. He's doing things I've never seen before because the styles, constant boxing is constantly evolving. It's a constantly evolving sport. So looking at someone like Canelo who started off the way he did, like you look at his his US debut. And he fought a guy who was a good veteran, not a journeyman, but a good veteran. Similar to the guy that I fought who you come and watch me the first time. So he was considered a journeyman, but a veteran of the sport because 75 plus fights, that's fucking heaps.
Yeah.
But look at that. He went in there and he had a bit of trouble. He ended up stopping the guy later on.
Yep.
And he showed good parts of himself, but he was young and he was rigid.
Very different, yeah.
Look
like when he fought Mayweather.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. See? Looking at the way he fought Mayweather, he knows to himself he learnt 100% more than what he ever did in the previous fights.
Because Mayweather was just like, pow!
Yeah.
And out.
So the thing with Mayweather as well, Mayweather made it look very easy because Mayweather also was very smart in how prepping for that fight. He goes, okay, I'll fight Canelo for the welterweight title. I know he struggles making welterweight because with the WBC, you have to be weighed a certain amount of times, even if you're not fighting. Because if you hold that world title for the WBC, you can't be overweight.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'll strip you from it.
Cool.
From what I know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So from what I know. Other sanctioning bodies might do the same, but I'm not too sure. So if you're over a certain amount of weight, just a random weighing. They do the same with drug tests, like random drug tests. They'll come and drug test you at your house. They'll just rock up and be like, random drug test.
Yeah, USADA and shit.
Yeah, USADA and stuff. So they'll do that. And I remember them leading up into the fight on HBO when they used to do the whole like all the access stuff that Mayweather used to get all the big thing leading up into the fight. And Canelo had to jump on the scales like 2 or 3 times throughout the episodes to make sure he was close to the weight. So Mayweather thought and he said, okay, I'm going to make him fight at welter where I can make easily. And he's the naturally bigger guy, so he's going to blow up back after the fight, but he's going to have to get all the nutrients, all the stuff to refuel himself to be able to keep up with me, where I can be here at welter and naturally move and be here and win this belt and make him look silly. And also the sheer experience of Mayweather as well. Canelo wasn't ready for that. He knows himself he wasn't ready for that. But now the tables have turned, and now Canelo's really seen, okay, I'm a bigger guy. I've got this explosive, devastating power for myself. And
You think he would have beaten him now?
Yeah.
Ooh, really?
I personally think with learning from that fight, if he was to go back and say Mayweather jumped up, was a bigger solid.
But Mayweather's not in his prime anymore. But let's just say he was in his prime.
Say Canelo's at the prime now, and Mayweather was at just a couple of years prior to when he fought Canelo, which would have been more in that sort of prime aspect. I think he would have ended up being too much for him. Because you look at Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is a good fighter. Caleb Plant couldn't keep up with the sheer staunch and that body and that physical self in front of him for that long because he was going to take a book from Mayweather's page. He was going to be like, okay, I'm going to outbox him. I'm going to keep him on the jab. I'm going to be right in his face. For the first couple of rounds, Caleb Plant had success.
Yep.
As it got middle rounds, even at the start of the rounds when he was landing a few shots on Canelo, there was not one point where Canelo took a step back and looked in trouble. That's where the composure comes into play. Canelo's gotten so composed where he's sparring cruiserweights and heavyweights at the gym anyways. So a shot from Caleb Plant's not going to fucking bother him. You know, it's like when I spar my friend Donato. Big shout out to the Black Mamba Donato. Sparring him, he hits me like I've been hit by fucking 10 airplanes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
But
used to it.
But getting hit by it, that's what will condition you and keep your composure in the fight for the right time to know, okay, I've worn shots bigger than this.
Yeah.
I know not to get hit again, or I know if it's going to hit me, I'm all right. I know I'm confident in my chin and my neck and my body to wear that shot if it does hit me.
Yeah.
Caleb Plant's not known for being a big puncher anyways, but even from the start to the middle to when he stopped Caleb Plant, he was cruising.
Yeah,
a lot of people say like, oh, he had trouble. Not necessarily had trouble. He was just cruising.
Yeah.
There was points where he was actually skipping and bounding around the ring, cutting him off. And even Caleb Plant, they're trying to talk throughout the fight. And he's like, yeah, I'm a good fighter. He goes, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, they're talking throughout the fight. That's what you want. That's good sportsmanship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Other,
yeah.
know? Like Caleb Plant, as soon as he realised, fuck, I've been hit by Canelo, and as soon as he wore a couple of big shots to the body into the head, he's like, oh, no, I don't want to get hit by that again. And he did. It showed by his body language where Canelo, he got hit. He was like, boom.
Yeah.
Straight back in.
Yeah,
That's
that staunch style of boxing, though. That's
that attribute you got to have. You got to have that, man. Like if you can dish it, you got to. Like again, if you can dish it, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah, 100%.
There's guys out there who can dish it 100%. They can dish it. As soon as they get hit once, tail goes in between their legs and they get straight on their bike.
Wow.
And they start running. But it all depends, you know.
That's really interesting because a lot of people would say otherwise because he was so good defensively and things like that.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about boxing for a little bit of time. I want to move on to some of the things that are happening this year for yourself and myself. I got an announcement to make, by the way. After it is now 2022, I've got a big announcement.
Go.
I don't drink anymore, bro. That's it. That's me. I don't drink anymore except for
sober woos now.
Yeah.
Sober party noises.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you've come to my side of the thing now.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons for it, and one of the main reasons is it's like it when I was younger, it never used to linger around like it does now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when I was a lot younger, I was kind of going, all right, cool. I can do this 3 days in a row. I do this now. I have a couple of drinks, but I don't drink I'm one of those people that drinks to die. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just have that. Like, I have a packet of lollies. I'll eat the whole packet of lollies.
Yeah.
If I'm going to McDonald's, I'm going to get two Big Macs.
Everything.
And just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If I'm going to play like a video game, I'll be there for 16 hours, like,
Smashing it,
with everything I do. So, I started to notice that my mood was actually affected 3 to 4 days later.
Right.
And I kind of went, all right, well, I'm wasting all this time. I've got this going on. And now I've got a job where I work crazy stressful and crazy hard.
Yeah.
And so I've got to kind of balance that. And I go, okay, well, last year, this has taken off really nicely. It's doing good. But let's hit it harder this year. But do I have time to do that? No. Because I've got other personal commitments as well. So a lot of the culture in Australia is just drink, have fun. But I'm not one of those people that actually does need to drink.
No.
So I decided that I'm like, that's it. That's it for me. And what I kind of realized is I went, I can still have that fun, but not drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And still be able to do all of this with the right mindset.
Yeah.
I had a few drinks on New Year's, and the hangover wasn't that bad. We were there until like 4 a.m, like in the pool, like just partying. It was crazy. And it was a work thing, but we came back and actually my Uber driver was fucking drunk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We're on the way home and he had a bottle in the middle here and he was just swerving like this. I get a text message like, is this Uber driver drunk? And I looked like, what? And he was like swerving in the middle of the road.
Wow.
It was really strange. And I'm like, as soon as we were like 5 seconds away from the house when I got there. And then I asked him, I was like, mate, are you pissed? He's like, no, bro. No. Here, smell my breath. And the fact that he made me smell his breath was, I was like,
weird,
to be fair, I couldn't smell it.
No, but
and then I was like, what the fuck is there a bottle of vodka there? And he's like, oh, no, that was from my last customer. Smell my breath.
Yeah,
I was like, this dude's drunk.
That's weird, man. No
So,
way.
like, you know, that in itself was pretty shocking. But even that kind of behavior, I'm kind of like, you're putting people's lives in danger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of guy that isn't smart enough to go, I'm not gonna make those stupid decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've got like money to pay for Ubers and stuff like that and inconvenience, I don't want to be making those kind of decisions.
No.
And because I got a very A-class personality, which is very like in your face, really intense, outgoing. But I have to learn to manifest that in a different way, because if I involve that with alcohol, it's going to be incredibly self-destructive. So I've come up with how I'm going to do it. Cold turkey, okay? The things that I enjoy now don't really involve alcohol anymore.
No.
Really don't. I mean, we whenever we hang out, we box or run or do podcasts. That's something.
Or just go sit down on the balcony.
Or sit on the balcony and just talk shit, Talk about cats and stuff.
Cats. I've got 4.
Got 4 cats. And again, like it's just you don't want to use up all your prime early by having to deal with all that shit all the time.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So now I've kind of gone, all right, well, I've made an exception. The only time I will drink, so cold turkey, but the only time I will drink is for a family gathering.
Yep.
Or when my if I'm with Jared.
Yeah.
My best mate. So those are the only times that I'm actually going to do it. Like no exceptions, no, we're going to go watch a fight, have a couple of beers and stuff, because even if I do that, there's still about a 70% chance I'm going to get carried away.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's when you're with a bunch of people anyways. Like you get into that role like, oh, just one more. Oh,
just one more.
Oh, no, we're here now.
Or the worst when someone buys a round. Like my mates are round buyers.
Yeah, see, so it's
4 of your mates, 4 pints, and you're like, shit.
You don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, no, I won't have it, give it to him. And it's
exactly.
And he's like, nah, have it.
It messes with the flow a whole lot.
And like, that. Well, see, that's why being on that side, where you're now on my side now with the whole, like, taking that step back from drinking. I'll drink on special occasions, or if I, like, I just want to chill and everything like that. Or if I kind of feel like it, that's fine. But I'm constantly training and constantly on myself.
Yeah, but you don't drink like I drink, though.
No, not at all. No, even if I was, I fucking had my birthday how many long ago? It's great English, isn't it? Great start to being a host. Yeah. Everyone's just gonna make fun of
it becomes easier, man. It becomes so much easier, bro.
But I had some drinks for my birthday, and I was wrecked. I had 2 glasses. You'll laugh because I had 2 glasses of red wine.
Oh.
3 glasses of red. 4 glasses of red wine.
Yeah.
And 1 thing of scotch. Left the place. I was fine.
Sweet as.
Got home and it hit me like a fucking bus. I'm there in the fucking living room. We've just put Hunter to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, this isn't for me. Yeah.
Francesca's like, you're right. I said, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Stumbled through the fucking house. Went straight to the toilet thing, and then I've just pretty much like rolled into the bed, and I've just gone like flat.
Yeah.
Like to sleep. And next day I was a fucking mess, and I haven't been hungover in like two something years. Mic, bro. 2 something years.
2 something years.
2 something years, and it was absolutely.
That's horrible, man.
Oh no, it was the worst. And like Francesca's like my partner's at home. She's like there, my son. I'm very hands on with everything I do. So I'm like, I want to be there. I want to do this. I want to do that. I was fucking on the couch. I was trying to sleep, but when you try and sleep and you're like, I can't, my body's awake, I feel sick, but I can't just drop off. So I was just awake the whole day, but fucking hating my life and hating myself. And that's the worst feeling.
That's the worst feeling ever, man.
It's the worst feeling. And you just feel shit the whole time. And it's like, it's not worth me feeling like this and wasting my entire day feeling like this, where I could have been hands on with my son. I could have been hands on. I could have done this. I could have gone to the beach. I could have gone anywhere. But because I'm fucked, the next day after doing that night, the night was fun.
Yeah.
People were around, everyone was having a good time. But if I didn't do it or didn't have it as much, I wouldn't have wasted the next day.
Yeah, makes sense.
It does. So and also spending that money that night on just hiring a place or getting drinks or getting food or all that sort of stuff, man, I could have done the same thing in a whole nother way.
Yeah.
And maybe not spend anywhere near as much. So it honestly is it can be a big waste of time.
Yeah.
But it's also that socialness as well. Like you're used to being that socialness with guys or girls or party or whatever. Everyone's drinking.
Yep.
You don't want to be that one left out.
Yeah,
you feel
exactly.
kind of weird, you know.
You
Like,
do.
But
You do feel weird.
For years I've always been that one. Like I'm the one in the corner of the water bottle, or if someone's got a fucking like a bloody juice, I'll be the one drinking juice.
Yeah.
Like just kind of hanging out. Like even going out to the nightclubs, I'll be the one asking for water at the bar, and they'll look at me like I'm crazy. Like I'm the one. Like I must be on something else. I'm not. I've never done drug in my entire life.
That's what's interesting, Jackson, because I picture that now, and I'm like out partying with the boys.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna have a good time, no worries." And you're there with your water, and then you just meet someone. And bro, I'll be so honest with you, bro. Like, if I'm not drunk, I don't give a fuck about talking to people when I'm out. I really don't. The only reason I like to is because I'm pissed as, and I'm like,
just talking, do whatever.
just talking. Like, hey man, let me tell you something about what you need to figure out. Right? Let me pull you there for a second. Hold up, we're having a chat. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only time I actually like. I genuinely just don't give a shit. Like, maybe I'm getting older and a bit more cynical and grumpy. Maybe, I don't know. I like talking to people here.
Yeah.
But it's not a fun environment where you're just like out and like, oh, why is the floor sticky? Oh shit, that guy's trying to punch me. Like, I just don't, unless you're drunk, you're like, that guy's trying to punch me. Come on, let's do it.
No, but then it's like, exactly right.
Yeah.
You're drunk, so it doesn't matter. You're like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck it, just have a good time. What are you doing?
Just who cares? Everyone,
Fuck
don't
you,
worry
man.
about it. Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when you're not, you're kind of just like sticking to yourself, and you're like, now I'm looking after everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. You end up turning into like a full dad, and I am a dad, so I talk that way at home. I'm like, stop it, don't do that. Oh, where is he? He's in the kitchen. Fuck.
Yeah. They're knives.
He's fucking seven months old, and he's already fucking taken off. He's stupidly strong.
Oh, you're talking about your kid now?
My kid.
I thought you were talking about a drunk mate. Because your kid shouldn't be drinking at that age.
If he got a hold of it, he probably tried it before. He's a fucking menace and a half. You're a menace. But drunk mates, even like going when I was talking to you before the podcast, like saying like, you know, you end up being the driver pretty much. You're like, oh, I'm the designated driver. Everyone's got them. Everyone's got them. I've been that since I was fucking 15, 16 years old, always. Yeah. Because I choose not to. But even if I'd go out and have a night out, I'd always, in my head, I'm like, nah, I've got to train. No, I've got to do this. I've got that. I've got that envisioning for myself. I've got this way I look at myself. Okay, I don't want to drink because I know I'm going to have the repercussions of it. Now and then, special occasions, family things, everything like that, different story. But when it's on like just a weekend basis and people just live for the weekend,
I can't do that. That's a hell in itself, man.
It is because you just waste that entire weekend where you could be doing something else.
You waste that whole time to just be at work, your 9 to 5, to buy cooler shit so you can enjoy it for 2 days on the weekend.
Yep.
That to me doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's like everyone is so proud of me now because you're like, you're making really good money and you wear a suit. Wow. Like, and I enjoy my job.
Yeah.
I really do. I enjoy what I do, but is it like soulful for me? Does it make me want to get out of bed every single day? Absolutely not. And the problem is like I'm around this idea, especially with like my parents, my friends and everything is so like, black and white. And then I'm going to be a manager and then I'm going to manage my team and then I'll get more money. And it's like, I'm kind of doing that now. And I'm like, well, what about if you got to create your own visions for what you did every single day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly what you mean.
So, I mean, that's also a huge thing within itself.
No, well, like exactly what you're saying, like being able to create that vision for yourself, see what you truly love to do and something that really, because motivation goes a long way, but that's right. I think last time on the thing when it was me, you, Mason and Joe talking about like the motivation compared to drive. So
I'm surprised you can remember that. It's funny.
Yeah. See, look, I'm dumb as fuck, but I remember weird
because you don't drink.
Like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't been punched in the head that many times. So I remember weird shit like that. But I remember it's a big conversation I have with myself all the time. Like while I'm running or while I'm doing pads, while I'm training, while I'm sparring, while I'm doing all this stuff, even when I'm with my son or with my family in Mandurah, everything like that, I look at it as you do have this one life. Motivation to people comes and goes. You look at people who, it's 2022, new year, new me. Woo.
Yeah.
Give that a month or two, depending if they're really serious. Just going to go straight.
How many people are just going to flop?
How many people are just going to flop?
Exactly like weight loss goals and stuff.
Yeah, well, how many people are going to flop? They're going to be like, oh, this is the new me. This is what if I'm saying all this. They spend how much money on plans, this, that, doing whatever. Do they follow through? Not entirely. No offense to anybody out there, but some people, the majority of people don't naturally do because they go back to what feels comfortable, and what they know, which is fine. You got to get out of that comfort zone though. That's why that difference from motivation to drive is what gets you out of bed in the morning. I do this, you do this because this drives me to be better, to do this, to do that. And, and nobody's perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Like, everyone has their own demons. Everyone has their own issues going on in their life. No, whether you've got worse things compared to others, loving life and loving everything in your life and being able to know finding what truly drives you and what makes you get out of bed in the morning and what you live for. Doesn't matter what it is. You could live for fucking box of crayons if you want. Fucking oath. Yeah. Good on you. Good for you. No one else can say anything about that because that's what you love. Like, if I didn't love boxing as much as I didn't love my own family I've started as much as I do, and I don't love my family in Mandurah and all that stuff, then what else do I have? My own life? It's fucking miserable. You got to make life as fun as possible. And yes, people get stuck in a day-in-day job. Like you're saying, do you wake up every morning like, yeah, I'm going to work? Fuck no. Nobody does.
I wake up every day going, it's time to make more money.
Yes. But that
I do like money.
Yeah, see, money's great. Money's, money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm lucky enough to have fucking 4 cents in my bank account. But that's how I've always lived. I've always lived that way with fuck all. But that's because I'm used to, I can live out of a fucking cardboard box if I want to because I know what
makes you happy.
Well, I know what makes me happy. And I know that when I wake up in the morning, as long as I'm positive and I'm happy with what's going on in my life, then I'm fine. Money to me doesn't mean anything. That's why, like achieving your goals and having that drive to achieve your goals, whether the money comes or not, I'm happy regardless because I've got my partner, I've got my son, I'm healthy, I'm safe. My family, they're all good. They love me. They love everybody in my life. Everybody's happy. And that's where people just got to be happy in life and happy with what they got. Be grateful for what they have. And like you're saying, waking up in the morning not being happy with that, and you know yourself.
Well, you're happy to do that.
Yeah.
So you wake up every morning and you go, well, I'm doing a lot. You know what the thing is for me? I wake up every morning, I'm doing a lot better than a lot of people that I know. And that's a sense of pride.
Yeah.
Are there some days where I go, fuck me, I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with your shit today. Like, I get that a lot of time, but imagine being able to find, and I've been just following, motivating and just understand, imagine people that have the option to call their own shots. And I think that's eventually where I'm going to end up.
Yeah,
because that will make me happy.
Being your own boss. Not having to worry about, okay, I've got to meet this criteria for this one person day in, day out. And I've got to worry about, okay, I've done this for this person because I'm working for that person. I'm underneath that person. Me, myself, coming from that, my coach obviously tells me and I do that. But even myself, he knows that I push myself. He'll push me harder because he's in front of me. And I know that he's in front of me and I know his expectation. I know my expectation.
Yeah.
But the drive in me in everything in life, especially towards the boxing, I know that even if I'm by myself, I'll push myself. I'll tell myself in my head, no, this is all to be a world champion. This is all to be this. Regardless if you got money or not, regardless if you got fucking anything, I know what I'm here to do.
It'll all pay off one day.
It'll pay off one day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when it is. I just know I'm doing this for the purpose of myself.
Yep.
And I know that if I wasn't to fight and wasn't to box, I'd fucking go insane. Because it's embedded in me. And that might be the genetic thing from my dad and from the family there. Like it's something in me that I can't live without. Same with my partner and my son and the people in my life. I don't want to live in my life without those people. You know, but that's where it comes into that nitty gritty of yourself. Like, okay, do I really need this?
I can understand that.
You can understand that, yeah.
Because for me, I can't live life without laughing. That's my thing. That maybe I just don't take shit seriously enough. But I was always told when you're younger, hey, if you don't get a job, you're going to do this, and you go to university. If not, you're going to be a failure. You're going to be a garbage man. Nothing's going to. And it was just embedded from such a young age. And I went, what? What if there's a way to look at it differently? And I understand when you're in schools and stuff and they get you to work on this assembly line. You start at 9, you finish at 3. Thanks for coming. You get a 10-minute break, which is your morning tea. Then you get your lunch break as well, which is a little bit longer. So you're stoked about your lunch break. Then you meet expectations of other people and criteria, and that's great if there's only a certain amount of jobs to work in assembly lines, building planes for World War II or back then. Then you had the baby booms where was it the baby boomers? I'm not sure. But in the 1960s where everything changed, everyone was like, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? And now in 2022, there's like e-commerce. There's everything is more tech oriented, so not needing people as much.
No.
So I mean, it's almost like the routine to just get up, and that's why depression must be so high to do it every single day. But like my big thing, because we've all got new goals for this year. My big thing is I want to enjoy people's company, and I want to be able to laugh, and I want to have less stress.
Yeah.
That's number one for me.
Yeah.
For you, what fights are you taking this year?
I just want big fights. I just want big fights. I want to be able to have the traction and to be able to have the exposure.
Yep.
That I've had 14 fights now, and I've got 4 regional titles, which are international titles underneath me that have given me the world ranking at 33.
Where's the exposure at, bro? You know what I mean? Where does the time come? Where you're like,
and it's hard because like obviously I'm the one sitting back here, I'm the one grinding away. There's people that I know that are fucking like above me, or even like people who I know that they're not training at the minute, but yet they've got stuff locked in that are for this year in like January, May, whatever, like or Feb that are big fights.
That's bullshit though, man. Because it's like you got the talent and everything and the work ethic to be able to earn those money fights, but it's not even the money fight. It's like having recognition and like being able to get all those eyes to you. Like you look at those bachelor people having a crack. You know what I mean? Like
and all to them, like at the end of the day, like saying like like I appreciate your view on me and like we've like saying about my ability and my talent. I really appreciate that as well. Because I'm not an up there sort of person like, you should know who I am.
But I mean, I'll say things that I think are true. Yeah. So I will say, if I didn't say that, I wouldn't be like, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate it anyway.
No,
I'm just being the nice guy I am.
No, you're good. That was, do you know what?
What was that? I ran all the way in and you just gave me a little finger tap then.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because I can't move my arm here because I trained the other day. So I was like, I'll do another one. What's up, homie? Yeah, just bang. Yeah, that was
for all you beautiful people.
That was actually really fun.
This is really bad, wasn't it? But anyways, other than cringing, you.
That's a fucking highlight.
Anyways, that was perfect. But other than cringing out, in saying that, you like with the goals in life.
Yeah.
You've got yours, I've got mine. This year is for that. And like I've personally myself, I've been fucking pulling my hair out.
Yeah, that's why it's so short.
That's why it's so short. Thank you, Francesca, for giving me a haircut. Thank you for Sinead for fixing it as well. Thank you. But you pull your hair out because you're doing the same thing day in, day out. Like from my perspective, I'm waiting here, sitting here, training my ass off and getting no reward at the end.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. Like the last fight last year, 15 months to wait because I had a fight locked in. Oh, it's not happening. A fight locked in, it's not happening. Oh, COVID. COVID is a big factor. I understand that. But without COVID or not, there's still fight shows going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of upsets and stuff going on at the minute.
Well, I can imagine, but this is what we need to talk about because 2022 is a year of manifestation and a lot of big things are going to change because we film this here, we look at this in 12 months time and see what the fuck has happened, all right? Because everything's going to be different.
Everything's going to be different.
So my big thing is I'm watching that and it's frustrating for me because I have to go and watch you at fucking Metro City every other week, you know?
Yeah.
And that to me is kind of like, come on, bro, like, not for you, but, where are these fights at?
Yeah, no, exactly right. Well, that's where it comes into...
is it social media presence that might have to...
I don't know if it's just social media presence because
if you started calling people out, like, let's just say, right? Let's just say you go out of your way, right? Because I know you as a person. You're not the kind of guy that's going to go, who's someone that is potentially on the cards to you?
I can't think of one right now. There's too many.
Okay.
But there's a few names out there.
Let's just say a guy called Jeremy Stevens.
Okay. Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah. Let's just say there's he's like, I don't know, like 20,000 followers on, but you're not the kind of guy that's going to go, Jeremy, you piece of shit. I'm coming to get you because of all that shit I've been. You're just not like, it's not you. But you got to find a way to manifest your personality into being able to people that will go, oh, okay, no, I get this, I get that, because you have to be genuine.
Yeah.
Because if you're not genuine, that's when people will actually understand it.
Yeah.
It's like when you're talking to a beautiful woman. If you're doing something that is very easy to if you're doing something that's really easy to read that isn't true, that you're not being sincere, they can sense it because they're very, very good at picking up what's going on underneath. And I think everyone has a success. Even when you see through this media of what's true and what's not true and how people are actually feeling and behaving, people can actually understand it because it's also putting out what's out there. But you can see when people are being transparent.
100%.
You can't explain it, but you can see it.
You see it, but you feel it in a way. You can kind of you sympathise in a way.
100%
with knowing, like you're like, I get it. You know, you get it, but you don't have to say it. I know exactly what you mean.
And it's like who I don't know anything about managing fights.
No, we'll see
getting fights, but I feel like I'd be good at it.
No, just start them. Just there you go.
I'd just be instigating fights. My boy's gonna beat your fucking ass.
Even Francesca, she's the same. She's like, let me just jump on and call people out. I said, no, it doesn't work that way. You gotta like it's. Because
you don't want to be that guy with you.
It's a certain thing.
This called me out. Like,
his fucking girlfriend just called him out to fight him. It's like, no, that doesn't.
You can't do that. It doesn't look good as a fighter.
She's like, no, I'll pretend to be you. I'm like, no, but it's not
how.
Just jump on and start typing for me and just start saying stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. But it's where it comes. Like in myself, I'm true to myself. In how I represent myself and how I do all that.
Yep.
I'm not shying away from nobody. I don't care who it is. I love to fight, and I've got confidence and I've got that manifestation, that belief in myself that I want to fight. I want to be out there. I want to fight the best.
Yep.
And that's what the sport is about. It's not about cherry picking. It's about fighting the best of the best.
Yep.
If you win or lose, say you lose, you went out there and you did 100% of yourself.
Yeah.
If you win, that shows the right prep, the right way of walking into it, and how well you've manifested this to be able to fight and to be able to do this sort of stuff. Because it's not easy. Anyone can go down to the pub and fight. Or go down the street and fight. To jump in a ring, it's a very different situation.
You were saying bum fights before.
Bum fights.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Something that's actually really funny that I saw. I'm going to wrap this up on this because we've been going for an hour.
Going for an hour.
Again for an hour. Check up your sign, by the way. Welcome here.
Welcome to Wilkoz World.
Yeah, and Jackson.
And Jackson.
There we go. Sweet. What's up? It's official now, baby. What's up? Wait. My arm.
And I'm short, so I've got to fucking
just lean forward and that. Yeah. Nah, cool. That and people are going to come in on and be like, "What's that?" Oh, but he wasn't around when I made the sign, so all good.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. It's got my personal touch of my toddler-like writing.
Yeah. That'll be worth a lot of money one day.
And Jackson.
And also peacing out to Mason, who's not a part of the show anymore. So all the best to him, and we enjoyed having him for the time that we did. But peace. Also, when you were talking about bums, I saw something really fucked up the other day, and it's kind of like a new thing that I've realized how much pieces of shit people actually can be.
Why? What happened?
I was looking up internet games and shit, right? And there's a game called Bum Simulator.
Bum Simulator?
Bum Simulator on PC. So apparently you walk around with a shopping trolley and you can craft shit.
What?
Really? Bro, you can craft shit. So you have scrap metal and then you're hungry. So you're I got to get some food. Then you got to go through a trash can and get in fights with other bums to get more points. And you have to urinate in front of people and shit.
Homeless people.
Yeah, but you're in a world where and you've just got your shopping trolley and you're just running around grabbing, crafting pieces of metal to make something to be able to level up, and you have to level up your bum. And so you can actually take a piss in front of people and and the whole world's normal, and you're just around with your shopping trolley just powering up, man. What the fuck is that?
Powering up. Power up.
But what? Who buys that?
No way. I've never once ever heard of that.
Anything that's so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Imagine, PC having a VR version of that.
Oh man, you imagine you wouldn't be able to. But fuck that. Whoever made that is so funny, man.
Oh, that's really getting down to it.
That's
thinking. Okay, let's think of a real word. It's it's the bum version of Minecraft.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
Bum version of Minecraft.
You know what? Maybe not even Minecraft, maybe Ark or DayZ or something, a survival game.
Yes.
Yeah, because technically you're trying to just survive. You don't have a house.
You're gonna fight another homeless man at the other end of the block.
Yeah.
For your sandwich that's half eaten out of the bin.
I was watching it. He's wandering around. He's you're hungry, so you go in the bin, get a sandwich, take a piss. upset people and then like fight people and then you like do quests for other like street people and shit. And they're like need to get some heroin and stuff. So shout out to Bum Simulator.
Bum Simulator.
I've never actually I don't want to play it, but yeah, cheers.
I really want to have a turn.
Yeah,
That'd be fun
I might
as.
have to download it.
Yeah.
Also, for one of the episodes that we'll be doing, I actually want to start getting into the habit of what do you think about this, right? Get the funniest people that we can to watch. I actually reckon the guys we had last time. Shout out to a Net podcast. You weren't here for that, but
No.
Jesus, they were funny.
No, I heard you told me how funny they were.
Yeah. Hilarious guys. They're both comics. They're going to be huge. So I was thinking about pinging the screen, like one of my TVs, and we bring it in here, and we stream the fight live and film just watching
a
fights, and then just do like a different section on that because I reckon some of the reactions to that would be so funny.
I think well, what type of fights though? Like funny
not bum fights.
Oh, dude.
No. I'm talking. We can do ones.
Well, we'll see because you love going on the internet. Like you look up, you got the boxing and got all the good fights. You're strategic, like that's cool.
Yeah, like when you see a monk fight like a fat guy, like
it's like cool and stuff, or even just like traditional boxing or anything. Like you get the guys around, like hey, watch the fights. Yeah, but then you watch like the people on the street.
Yeah,
you watch the backyard boxing where there's people who have no clue whatsoever. You know someone's going to get
backyard
hurt.
MMAs and shit. Like, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, Kimbo. Oh, well, look at that. That's how it started. But you look at that stuff, you're like, wow, that person can really fight.
Yeah.
And then that person
so
can't really fight. You're like, and then you watch it, you're like, oh, the expectation. It's pretty.
No, I was thinking like the relevant fights. So we watch some of the stuff that you're into because you're into a little bit more hard, deep, into a more nerdy side of boxing than I am, like real deep into it because it's what you do. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know the Australian champion except for you, but other than that, I don't know. But we can watch some of those. Yeah. But I'm also thinking like some UFC fights, some with some big hype around it because some of those moments when I saw Woodley get knocked out by Jake Paul, I was on a boat and I think I almost dropped my hot dog. I was like, no. Yeah. And I get a message from my girlfriend saying, hey, baby, it's okay. like,
just knowing to comfort you.
Yeah, because when I actually, before I wrap this up, funny story. When Khabib lost to Connor, I hadn't drank in like...
Actually, I heard.
Yeah. Do you know the story? You were there. I hadn't watched, I hadn't drank in a very, very long time. And I was like, it's a fight, so I'm going to drink. All right. Yeah. And like I said, 70% chance I'm going to lose the shit. I ended up drinking like almost like a whole bottle of vodka. And I was watching.
That's making me feel sick.
Yeah. It was tequila. Was it tequila?
Oh, even worse.
Tequila? It was tequila. Yeah, it was tequila. I think it was like I drank 3/4 bottle or something. But I was drinking with other people and it was a long day. Anyway, so I went to go watch the fight at my mate's house. And there's a certain energy you get when Connor walks out. Like, especially when I'm with my boys. Like, and we're all big fans. We're like, all drinking at the pub. Like, he's coming out.
You don't have to be there, but the atmosphere.
The atmosphere is, man, you get like, he's like, here he comes. And actually, there's something very different about when he comes out to like, I'm a huge, Tony Ferguson fan or, like I don't get excited about watching Usman fight like that.
It's a specific aura around
It's like when you watch Tyson come out, you're like,
well, when Tyson doesn't even have to think, he has just one note playing the entire time as he walks out. It's like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, when he fought Michael Spinks, and it was the chains together, and he was like deer in the headlights.
It was, but it's like
smashed.
It's just that. It's like. Fuck.
Yeah. I know that I've seen it before. It's called drowning noise, and he just comes out in a towel, just like.
But that's what I mean. Like he's just there,
scary,
destroyed. But like that aura around the person, like Connor, he's got that aura every single time. Like doesn't matter which fight it is, it's that entertainment, that aura around him, where it's like, fuck, this is
this is it, and now we're excited. Here we go.
It's exactly
So he comes out. I'm like, can't wait. And Khabib smashed him, bro.
He did. I was at where was I for that? I was in Scarborough, watching that, and I remember the place was packed out. You couldn't even sit somewhere. You couldn't stand. You do nothing. And it was so hot as well. And I'm standing there like
watching this fight,
and I can hardly see the TV, and I'm just like, I'm like,
how bad?
I'm just watching it, and I'm like, even when he got caught, like Khabib, not the best boxer in the world, but he threw that wild overhand right, and Connor just ran straight into it. Just back, and then Khabib jumped straight on him on the floor.
Let's talk now.
But then he hit him, and he was just ripping into him. I said to a bunch of people I was there with, I said, mate, Connor's not coming back. He's
No.
not coming back from this. He'll lose. He'll lose.
Yeah.
Like, no, he'll come back. He'll do something. No, he won't. He come out the way.
That's another fucking animal, Khabib, man.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that guy gets on top of you, it's like you're smothered. Like my cousin Gareth, the only way I could describe it is my cousin Gareth, when we were younger, he used to put a mattress over me and then on a really hot day and then put blankets on it and then just like
lay on it.
Cook me alive. Yeah, it was that and I'm like, oh, Gareth, let me out. And he's just pissing himself laughing. He's like, you little bitch.
That just reminded me of my dad and my sister. He used to terrorize me as a kid. And
It's the same thing. It's funny, right?
You know the little, like, the footrest where you can open up and put blankets in and stuff?
Yeah.
They used to be like, oh, jump in there. And I jump in.
Lucky in there.
They'd sit on top and you know, my dad's like 110, 100 and something kilos. And
Oh,
they'd
he's a big
sit
boy,
on,
eh?
And I'm trying to I'm dying. Like, I'm going to suffocate and die. But they're like, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's like pitch black. I'm like getting buried alive. So fuck that.
You get out and you're just like, okay,
like,
I'm going to go. I'll see you later.
No, just fucking go upstairs and cry.
So imagine that. That's what it's be like having Khabib on top of you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, he's got your legs, he's wrapped you up, he's like controlling you up against the cage, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And then he just starts pounding you, man.
Yeah, well, Khabib himself on the floor, I have no experience there.
Yeah.
You know that yourself. But it's a different sort of fitness and it's a different sort of strength.
Yep.
Compared to standing up and fighting. You know, like to let go of explosive or let go of any sort of power with your hands or with your feet, standing up, it's completely different to wrestling. The exhaustion from wrestling and having a body on top of you and just that sort of thing, it's completely different. Completely different. And like anybody who knows with wrestling,
You'd
or
love
like
that, eh? My fat ass on top of you. Like, bro.
It's like,
what is this?
It's like, just give up. Just do what you want.
Just like my missus when we have sex.
Just do what you want. Whatever. I can't move anyways.
Yeah. Well, more of the story, I watched it. I was so upset that I cried, bro. I actually cried after the fight.
There was 3 other people that same day who were big dudes, fucking tears.
Yeah.
Tears as well. They were so upset. And I was taking the piss. I was like, you can't be fucking crying. They're like,
you don't understand, bro.
No, you don't understand.
But you don't get it. Yeah,
No.
yeah. But it's fucked. But again, I was very drunk.
Yeah.
And I hadn't drank in 8 weeks.
No.
And I was going through a weird time. And just the one glitter of hope.
And it just got absolutely smashed.
Smashed to pieces. I just watched my whole
Life flashed before my eyes.
I was like, after the press conference, I was like, you were such a dick. And I'm like, oh,
and then
man.
you start blaming. You're like, this is your fault.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
Just really sad about it. Like,
is.
I still enjoy watching him fight now.
Well, even that last fight with Dustin, and
Poirier,
he broke his ankle. He started off that fight really good.
Yeah.
Really good compared to the first one. But started to fatigue in that first round, just as it started to go towards when he broke his leg. But that fatigue is what you see in a lot of Connor's fights. So, like, it's like, when are you going to break out of that cycle of you're fit?
It's also his type muscle fibers.
Yeah, it's also his muscle fibers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the science behind it, with knowing that he fatigues very fast. It's just one of those things where he is known to fatigue fast. So that's one of the hopes in every fight. He's going to fatigue it. Even in the second Nate Diaz fight. Because the first one, he got fucking choked
walking
out.
away from him and stuff.
Yeah. But even in like that second one, he was like, okay, he started off well.
Yep.
Second round, into the first, into the second, he's fucked again.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, wow. You know, like that's really how much the fibers of the muscle must really just take it out of him. No, no oxygen flow.
Yeah, well, he's just, and I think he's always had a gas tank problem, but I think like the partying will take it out of you.
That Dustin fight, he got 200 mil for that fight. Man. Like, man, if you're not partying with 200 mil, like, it's like Mayweather. The amount of fighters and the amount of celebrities that Mayweather's been around.
Was it 200 mil or was it like 20 mil?
Who? Connor's last, with the Dustin fight. Yeah. It was 200 mil.
No way, really?
Yeah, 200 mil, yeah. From what I saw, I might be wrong because my numbers...
I think that might be wrong. 200 million, because he made 100 million fighting Mayweather.
I might be wrong.
So I think it's 20 million.
That's okay. 20
$200 million.
Dude, guess what? It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, what
does
it? 20 million, 200 million.
Whatever, you're still living better than me.
Yeah, it's all good, yeah.
That's better than me.
But yeah, what was that?
No, but like looking at that, like, you know, you got the money, you got that sort of stuff. Like Mayweather would party, and the amount of stories you hear from other fighters and comedians, people that they'd circle themselves around with, and say Mayweather would not have one drink of alcohol. And he'd be at 3, 4 in the morning from partying that night.
In the gym.
In the gym.
Yeah.
Because he's just such a that's a
machine,
a driven man. Connor, on the other hand, after the Mayweather fight, they both went and partied. But, you know, Connor went and did it a different way.
Yeah.
And that's
like
just
gone missing for 3 days and
yeah,
shit.
but see, like that's just different individuals. You know,
Yeah.
like it depends on like what you're doing or what you've got. You know, like if you're someone who comes from a good source of money and all you know is money, it's a bit different. You know, but if you know someone people who have never had money in their life, they can go either way. People who have no money in their whole life and then they get a big sum of money from working really hard, they're either still driven because they want to still keep going and still keep succeeding, or they've got it all. Oh, I'm going to fucking absolutely destroy myself now because I've got it now. And that's what happens with a lot of the athletes or a lot of people in general, like a lot of celebrities, a lot of people, they get this big source of money and then they're just absolutely fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
And that can be their own demons. You never know.
Well, that a lot of it actually as well, like something that before we wrap up, 'cause
Yeah.
we're about to wrap up. So one thing that was really interesting, I think LA also grabs a hold of people now. I've never experienced LA, but I think once you're famous in LA, like Sugar Sean as well, Sean O'Malley, I think eventually if he stays on top of it, he's partying a lot.
Yeah.
But then again, so was Jake Paul and Logan Paul. But and a lot of those guys that start to hang out in that LA scene, it's very party who you know.
It's like it is
big spenders and
it is big spenders. A lot of people who like that lavish lifestyle, and they live that way every day.
Yeah,
and there's no downtime
because it's almost like you drive a Ferrari over here, no one really gives a shit. You drive a Ferrari over there, it's kind of like, okay,
you're a somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're part of the club. Yeah, come join the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you a bump of Coke.
Oh, you know Drake. Yeah. No, I know Drake. No, you're cool. Come on.
Yeah, but see, that's that whole life in that sense. Like living in LA and being like that, and like being around those sort of people. You can either go one way or the other. Yeah. And that's where it's got to be your own individual choice and where you want to see yourself.
Hanging out with the celebrities and stuff. Because that'll fuck you up.
It is. No, well, partying, being around people, constant people, and those people, like, a good way I like to say was Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, Sugar Ray Leonard he was an alcoholic and he was a drug addict. And he's my favourite fighter of all time. But
really?
Yeah, he was a drug addict and alcoholic. But that's because it was funny, he even said he won his first world title against the youngest, he was to date the youngest ever world title holder. He won his world title at 17 years old. I forget his name now. It's left my mind, but I know the guy. Yeah. But he beat him for the WBC welterweight title. And straight away, all these random people, when he was having drinks that night and everything like that, party for a weekend, everything like that, all of a sudden, who are these random people who are now in my circle, who are now supposedly my friends? Years and years come. As fame, money comes, the money comes, so these other people who kind of attach on and they kind of get in that sort of circle, and it's like, oh, you got a Coke guy, there's your Coke guy, or you got your girls guy, there's your girls guy. Like it's what comes with the stigma of that life. It's like, oh, there's a guy for this, there's a guy for that, there's someone for this, there's someone for that. Oh, you want to get into the best place? Okay, well, come with me. I'll show
I know
you.
the VIP guy.
I know the VIP guy. Like, it's all.
I don't like meeting that many people.
No, but I don't either. I like to keep to myself. If I want to go hang out somewhere and stuff, and someone offers me something, I really appreciate it. That's nice. But whether money comes to me or not, I'm never going to think any different of anybody else or of myself, and never get a big head of myself, because I've got no money now. I don't care. If someone gave me money, if someone gave me $100,000, first thing I'm thinking of is putting a deposit on the house that me and my partner are in, and maybe having the rest so my son has a good upbringing. Yeah, so that's the first thing I can think of just now. Regardless of money and all that stuff, I don't care if I have a nice car. I'll drive a cardboard box with taped plastic wheels.
Drive a Chinese car.
Great Wall. Yeah. That's what I've got at the minute. Don't make fun of me. But from that, so like through that lavish lifestyle, what happens? Like Sugar Ray Leonard was fucking alcoholic and a drug addict and everything. And it was funny though, because those people come into your life when you're at your top.
And then as soon as you drop down, see you later. Thanks for coming.
You never see him again. He even said, he goes, you know, after he lost to Roberto Duran, lost the world title to Roberto Duran, the Coke guy. Oh, where's the Coke guy? No one doesn't know where he went. All these people were hanging around. Like even with the fighter who ended up getting shot in Mexico, Hector Camacho. Hector Camacho was a massive partier. And he was a very showy, very thing like that. He had a lot of mental health problems as well. But he did the same. He was big party, big everything like that. As soon as he started coming down, everyone else just fucked off. Yeah. And he was left on his own. And then partying with the wrong people in Mexico and a bad drug deal gone wrong. The chick he was with took off. The guy come out, boom, shot him in the passenger seat, and that was it. He's dead. You know, guy's been a 2-3-time world champion and was going to fight the likes of Roy Jones Jr. when he got a bit bigger. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard when Sugar Ray Leonard was on his way out.
Yeah.
Fought Julio Cesar Chavez, bloody awesome guy, but nobody really knows of Hector Camacho unless you're in America, but he's a fucking absolute beast.
Yeah.
But because of the way he was and the way everything like that, very showy, very flamboyant, likes to party too much though.
Yeah.
Very big demon.
And I look forward to the day that I'm like now with a little bit more age, and you're lucky because you discovered it young. You're only 3 years younger than me, maybe 4.
I can't count.
Yeah.
I've said that maybe like 10 times this whole podcast. I can't count.
But being able to look at the people around you and you
yeah.
go, and I'm gonna finish this on this.
Yeah.
Being able to look at the people around you and go, do they serve my best intentions?
Yeah.
And if you want to be their friend because you want people to like you for some reason, you might be a people pleaser, you might be wanting external validation, you might want to be one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, the most successful people and the most driven people are the weirdos. They like to stick to themselves.
Yeah.
And if I have to be one of those people just to protect myself from that, because I mean, you and I, we both know it from being in the entertainment industry. That happens a lot.
It does.
And I can't be fucked with those people.
Nah, it's just not worth it.
Nah,
It's
not at all.
You know, and you can take a look from an outstanding point of view, like from behind.
Yeah.
And be like, do I really want to be here?
Yeah,
Do I
exactly.
really want to do this? Is it worth it?
Nah.
And you're like, no, it's
it's
really not. Good on to the people that are in it. They're doing their stuff, everything like that, each to their own, you know. But, you know, different strokes for different folks,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess. You know, like if
Keep
you
away from the snakes in the grass.
Yeah, you know, like even if the snakes are there, they're doing their own thing, hanging out in the grass. Cool. I'm not going to go there though. I'm gonna hang out in the other grass. That's that's a bit shorter and not as deadly and dangerous.
Fucking hell. All right, guys, this has been sick. So welcome aboard, Jackson.
Thank you.
Loving having you. Oh, fuck. It's actually really sore, eh? It's just mainly this bicep.
That bicep.
Yeah, I was doing bicep curls the other day. Anyway, Jackson, we're going to see some big fights this year, and we're actually going to call. I'm going to be a lot on it, like calling them out and seeing what's going on, and I'll be watching a few of them, and I'll be watching all of them, but pre-fights, after fights, post-fights, shit like that. Bang, staying on top of that.
Cool.
So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Watching the fights as well, which is awesome. So big shout out for Jackson England coming in, helping me out, and Wilkoz World. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.